Kia ora koutou, ko Poppy toka wingoa. Hello everyone, my name is Poppy and I am the Recruitment and Engagement Manager for the professional programs here at Victoria University of Wellington and the Wellington School of Business and Government. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. It's really nice to see some familiar names pop up on the participant list. What we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about what the professional programs actually are, and then we're going to work through some of the options that are available for Trimester 2 start this year. Before I kick off, I am just going to explain a little bit though what Trimester 2 actually means, because that is a common question I get. So we have 3 periods of study periods here at the university. We include summer in that, so that's our Trimester 3 period. So when we talk about Trimester 2 or July start, what we're meaning is the upcoming trimester that you can begin your studies. So the programs we're going to go through today, they're all ones available for you to start in this July period or Trimester 2. But without further ado, I'm going to talk a little bit about the business school itself. So hopefully most of you know where we are located in Wellington. There's a wee picture there of all the campuses at the university, but we're located right in the heart of the city, right next to Parliament and the Beehive, in between lots of ministries, lots of courts. So if you know that part of town, if you know where the railway station is, then that's where you'll find us at the business school. And the image at the very top there, that's Rutherford House. So that's actually the building that we're in, and that's where your classes will be held. So we're the Wellington School of Business and Government, like I've said, and what that means is we're part of Victoria University of Wellington, and it's where we teach lots of our business and government programs. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that image, it's a little bit small on your screen, but you'll see the Beehive slap bang in the middle there, and the tall building to its left, that's the Rutherford House, the building that I mentioned just before. So we are a capital city business school, and I'm going to talk quite a lot about that as we go throughout our presentation, because we really use our location and how we teach our programs. A lot of our academics are also based or have come from all the industries and businesses and government around where we're located. We draw on lots of guest lectures, and there's lots of internship and consultancy opportunities just purely to do with our location in the capital city. So I will talk a little bit more about that as I go through. But a little bit of background about the university itself. So here you will see some facts on our slides, but we are in the top 1% of the universities worldwide for a lot of our subjects, and in particular some business school subjects appear there. So in the top 100 for 12 subjects, including management, library management. So we're really proud of our ranking, with top 2% overall worldwide for all of our subjects. And the logos at the very bottom of that slide there, you'll see that's our Triple Crown accreditation. And that relates directly to the business school. So the Triple Crown accreditation is an accreditation that business schools worldwide strive to get. And it means that your qualification that you get from studying with us is internationally recognized. So I'm going to launch into what are the professional programs, because you might have heard that word thrown around, and it's sometimes a little bit difficult to understand what that actually means. So the professional programs here at the Wellington School of Business and Government are professionally focused postgraduate programs. So what that means is they're to build onto any previous study that you might have, but they're also sometimes called post-experience. And that means where we take into consideration the work experience that you have for entry and admission into your programs, but also you build on that as you're studying and you have applied learning. So we have 10 different programs here at the business school under the professional program umbrella, and I am going to talk about those in more detail as we go through. But first, I wanted to mention the similarities between all of the different programs. So first, when we talk about professionally focused postgraduate programs, what we really mean is they've been sculpted to help you with your career progression. So no matter what stage of your career you might be at, the programs are designed to combine academic learning, but also professional learning, and really help you with whatever career goal that you may have. Part of that is there's a lot of networking opportunities that are embedded into your professional programs. So that might be actually as part of your course. Some of our programs, they're built on a cohort style learning. So that means that students start together and proceed through the courses at the same rate and really learning and building alongside each other. Other programs have specific networking events outside class hours, like our information management. They actually hold meetups with other IT professionals, so our students get to network that way. But no matter what program you study, the professional programs as a whole have a really strong community of students and academics around it, and we hold regular networking opportunities and events as well alongside. We also have applied learning embedded into our programs. And what that means is that the stuff that you're actually going to be learning in class is not only going to be applied at the end of your study, but also the way it's taught, you're going to use what you know from your work experience and build that into your program. But you're also going to end up with really strong skills and apply knowledge that you can apply directly into your workplace as you're studying them. A lot of our programs also will draw on real life experiences. So your projects and assignments will reflect what it's actually like to work in certain industries. You might do presentations and assessment styles like that to really give you those skills that you'll need moving forward with your career. I've talked a little bit about the campus and where we're located. If you haven't been to Rutherford House though, and you can, I encourage you to come and look it out. It is a really, really modern campus. There's the image there. The top image is our library, and the image below actually is our dedicated student study space. So this study space is just purely for our professional program students. No matter what program you're studying, you're welcome to use it. So it really helps our students network with their cohort of students they're studying alongside, but also all the students who are studying our other programs. It is also a really nice space to come in and study and get away from the busyness of your life. So lots of our students might be working full-time alongside their study, or they have other commitments at home, maybe children, busy lives, their own businesses. So being able to study at this dedicated study space is a really nice way for you to be able to focus on your studies. We also have some amazing academics that are teaching our programs, and that's something I really encourage you to look into with your programs. Who is going to be teaching you? Our academics are experts in their field. Like I mentioned initially, a lot of them have been working in big industries, and they've been a lot of the ministries around here, a lot of big firms, and they're bringing those expertise into their teaching. So I do, like I said, encourage you to see who's there. We have a lot of guest lectures, like I mentioned as well. So it's really a good place to come and study, because you're getting that hands-on lived experience that's being taught you to complement your academic subjects that you're learning. Similarly, we have the industry connections. So with the image that I started with, which showed you where we're located in Wellington, we really encourage our students to get out and really connect with the community that they're studying around to really help them with their career. So we draw on the fact that we're just across the road from the Beehive, so our government programs have a really strong connection there. Same with being in Wellington and in the capital, we have lots of ministries. Our students can get internship opportunities in those ministries. We also encourage and help support students with consultancies through many of their programs, and these consultancies can have an international focus, but are usually drawn from the businesses that we have in Wellington. We have big businesses or even small entrepreneurial ones for those consultancies. So we really do use that for our applied learning. We also have lots of flexible study options. So like I mentioned when I talked about the study space, our students typically are working, whether that's part-time or full-time, alongside their study. So our programs have actually been designed in a way to complement students' busy lives. I will explain in more detail when I talk about the programs, about how they're taught, whether it's evening classes or block classes, but the lectures have been designed in a way that you can actually fit it around working. We also have different types of programs, and I will go into that in a little bit more detail in my next slide, but there are ways that you can decide whether you want to study for a smaller period or continue on to doing your master's. A lot of our programs as well have flexibility in the courses that you choose. So I will talk in more detail about whether a subject has core courses, so courses that you have to take, but we also have a lot of elective courses that students can pick and choose and build their degree or their master's program in a way that they want. So I will, like I said, explain lots of those in more detail as we go through. But here's the staircasing. So this is what I was meant when I mentioned that there's different levels that you can engage with. So if you have looked at our website and you've seen that we might offer masters, and then we talk about postgraduate certificates and postgraduate diplomas, what that really means is that it's a family of qualifications. The students can decide whether they want to enroll straight into the masters for some of our programs, or lots of them have this staircasing option. And the staircasing is where you might decide to do a postgraduate certificate to begin with. For a postgraduate certificate, you need to complete 4 courses. And once you've completed that, you can finish at that point. Or if you decide actually you want to keep going and keep studying, you can then take another 4 courses and end up with a postgraduate diploma. The postgraduate certificate and a postgraduate diploma are a great qualification in their own right. But if you do want to keep studying and turn it into the masters, then you do an additional 3 or 4 courses depending on your masters, and then you end up with that final qualification. It doesn't actually take any longer whether you'd like to staircase through the qualifications or whether you would like to start straight away with the masters. So either option is absolutely fine. Also, because this webinar is about trimester 2 study, I did just want to talk about the possibility of distance learning. Now, a lot of our subjects have been traditionally taught on campus, but with the situation at the moment with the pandemic, while we are hoping to return back to having our students back on campus as much as possible, we will also have an option for students who can't come to campus for any reason. So if you are interested in studying with us in trimester 2 and can't make it to campus, then we can talk more about these distance study options. So that is a really quick summary of our professional programs and what they have in similarity. I am now going to talk though about the best program for you and how to work that out. So when we think about the professional programs, like I said, we split it up depending on what your career goals may be. So the first kind of category that we talk about is for recent graduates who are hoping to kickstart their career. So you have a bachelor's degree and you're thinking about what's that next step, what's something that you can add on. It's also a category where we have programs for people who might be thinking about a career transition. So you may have a fair bit of work experience, but not in this particular area that you would like to move on to and study. So the 3 qualifications we have that start in trimester 2 under this heading are our global business, our business analysis, and our professional accounting. Our next category is for students who might have 2 to 4 years of work experience, and it might be in a particular area. So these are for students who are interested in studying more about in an area that they are already currently working. We then split these courses into whether you're interested in government programs or whether you're interested in our business programs. So the top 3 there are our government, so public policy, public management and e-government, and the bottom 2 are professional economics and financial markets analysis. And the final category we have are for people who are at the other end of their career, so with at least 5 years of work experience. And the programs we have are the business, postgraduate certificate in business administration. So this is one of the staircasing options for our executive MBA. This is for people with 5 years of executive work experience. And we also have information management. So this is for people with at least 5 years in IT work experience. What I want to do with that very quick summary, and I will go into all of these programs in more detail like I promised, but what I want to do is just gauge from you what programs that you might be thinking about studying with kind of the background. So we're just going to pop up a wee poll and then we'd love to get your thoughts. Perfect. I think nearly have everyone voted there. So we've got a nice range. So what that does mean is I will be going through all of the programs we have on offer. The plan as well is after this to answer any questions that you may have. If we have enough time at the end, I will be opening it up for questions myself, but I do actually have a colleague in the background who is manning our Q&A as we go. So if you do have any burning questions that I'm not covering while I'm having a chat, please feel free to fire off the questions that way, and Charlotte will be able to answer them for you. If I don't have time to answer all of your questions this evening, we will also follow up by email, and you will all be sent a link to book an appointment time if you would like to discuss all of these programs in further detail after this webinar. But because we have a nice mix, I'm going to launch straight then into the Master of Global Business and talk about that one first. So what you'll see on all of these slides at the very top is the subject or the title of our qualification, and then underneath is our short code that you might also find on the website. So this one here, the Master of Global Business, is a program which focuses on global strategy, global business, global marketing, and how it's structured is it can take 12 months of study. So it can cover the 3 trimesters of study if you're studying full time. So when I mention the duration, what the thing that will be listed there is the minimum duration. So you can study this program full time, but you can also study it part time. The classes, they're taught during the day, weekday classes, and typically in blocks. So for some of our courses, you might come in for 2 hours on a Tuesday morning, and then the next class might be 2 hours Thursday afternoon. So they are, although they're weekday classes, it's a little bit different to undergraduate study where you're not having to come in every single day for those core courses. Now, this program, like I said, is best suited for graduates, so from any discipline wanting to kickstart their career. So if you do not have a background in business, that's absolutely fine. The courses that you take will cover, give you a really solid foundation in business. But here are some key points about the program. So it is taught by coursework. So when I mention coursework as I go throughout, what I'm meaning is it's not research-based. So you will, the classes that you'll be attending, you'll have lectures that you'll come to, and so you won't have any research components. So that's what it means when I mention coursework there. Now, this program has a mix of core courses. So like I said, these core courses give you a really strong foundation in global business. So you take courses such as global strategy or managing people from different cultures and backgrounds, and also things like accounting. So it gives you that really strong foundation that you might need. Then you also get to take elective courses. Now, these elective courses are there to help you get the flavour that you might want for your master's program. And the elective courses range from many across the business school. So some popular elective courses are things like marketing and management. You can also take courses like public policy and e-government. And if you take enough in a certain area, you can actually end up specialising in that subject. Now, majority of these courses are can be taken in a flexible order. So if you are studying part-time, you can start with the core courses or you can start with elective courses. But we do, at the very end of your program, we bring it all together and tie it all up nicely with a live consultancy project. So that happens in your final trimester. And like I mentioned, the masters can be awarded with a specialisation from the business school subjects that we mentioned before. The next one is our professional business analysis. So this program here is actually taught from our ICT graduate school. It's a program which takes just over a year, so half a year, and it's for people who are interested in potentially becoming a business analyst or careers in that certain area. Like I mentioned, it takes a year and a half, so it is 4 trimesters. And this one can only be studied in this way. So it's full-time, effectively full-time study. It's weekday classes, so you will attend classes Monday to Thursday, and then Friday you have a speaker series, so people working in the industry coming in and talking to the students. And just like the global business, it's best suited for graduates from any discipline wanting to kickstart their career. But again, anybody who's interested in a career change. So what it means here is you don't have to have experience in this area to take the business analysis program. This program is also mainly coursework, but they do have one research project that students take. It also is really strong on cohort learning. So what that means is the students that you start with, you'll progress through your masters and you'll get to know them really well. Like I also mentioned, it is taught over 1.5 years, but to do with the current pandemic, the first 1.5 trimesters will be taught purely online. So that means July till December, you'll have your courses taught that way. After that, they would return back to campus and they will have a lot of engaging content while you are in that online period, but it gives you a little bit of flexibility in where you live during that time. You can also, if you're a domestic student, choose to enroll in Wellington and Auckland. The final program that we have in this category is our professional accounting, so the Masters of Professional Accounting. This program, again, is good for graduates, but also people wanting to career transition into learning a business in accounting. So the duration, if you are studying full-time, is 16 or 19 months. So that's 4 or 5 trimesters. The reason that there's two varying duration time is actually to do with the pathways. So at the very bottom, you'll see that there are 2 pathways for this program. You can do the traditional MBA pathway, or you can do the new chartered accounting pathway. And I will go into a little bit more detail about that in the next slide. But I'll just quickly cover off delivery. So it is midday or evening classes. And again, I've talked about who it's best suited for. But the purpose of this program is to give you the skills that you'll need if you're interested in working in a field in accounting. So you look at accounting information systems or business law or auditing. But we do, like I mentioned, have that second pathway, the chartered accountancy pathway. And that purpose of that program is to give you all of those skills, but also give you the technical requirements for the CANs so that you can become a chartered accountant once you finish that program. So it's a really nice, concise program if you are interested in speeding through a qualification and also to get that same accreditation by the end. Now we're moving on to our programs that you're required to have 2 to 4 years of work experience. And the first 3 I'm going to cover off are our government programs. So the first one here is our public policy. What you'll see underneath the title as well, we have the postgraduate certificate you can enroll into, the postgraduate diploma or the master's. So this is where our staircasing really kicks into our qualifications. Now, the purpose of this program is to help build the skills up in policy, and we really draw on, like I said earlier, the location of where we're at, the location of our business skill for this qualification. So it can take, if you're doing the masters, it can take 16 months, which is 4 trimesters. It's taught in a modular or block format. So what that means is our core courses are currently taught. So you come in for a full day class once every 6 weeks. If you're studying more than one course, those courses are back to back. So when you come in for your blocks, you can come and dedicate 2 to 3 days on campus and do your online or distance study in between that. So it fits really nicely around working professionals. Now it's best suited for people with 2+ years of work experience and relevant work experience. So what that means is you might be working in government or not-for-profit or iwi. So if this sounds like something that fits your background and you'd really like to progress more in policy, then this is a good qualification. This one here is a mix, it's mainly coursework, but it does have a research project right at the end, which is why it actually turns into the 4 trimesters. You have a mix of core courses where you're learning all the foundations that you need for policy, and you also have elective courses, and again, you can specialize. So specializations include public management or e-government, but also things like health and well-being. So I really encourage you to have a look at those electives and specializations that you can do. It's a flexible course order again, and there's, like I mentioned, the variety of teaching formats. So you've got those modular courses. We do have a course which is offered by distance. So it can nicely fit in around your work life, but also if you're not based in Wellington. And the qualification is also internally assessed. So it means you don't have any exams. Our second program is our public management. Now this program is quite similar to public policy in the structure of it, but the focus is still working in the public sector, but looking more at that management side. So whether that's managing people or managing systems, so that's kind of the area that it's focused at. This program is a little bit shorter than the public policy you'll see, and that's purely to do with the fact it doesn't have that research component. So this is full-time. It would take you 3 trimesters. It's taught in exactly the same way as the public policy. So it's the modular or block format. And again, the people that are best suited for this program fit the same as the public policy sector there. It has the same, really similar structure as I've mentioned, with a mix of core courses, elective courses, an internship course that you can look at taking, and then in your final trimester you do finish off with a capstone course which ties everything and brings it all together. Our third and final one in our government programs is our e-government program. And this one here is for anyone who's interested in the government, but also interested in how we can make our systems better and looking at the computer side of government. It's for the masters, so this one doesn't actually have a staircasing option, so you go straight into the master's qualification. It takes 16 months or 4 trimesters of study, and it's taught in a similar way with that modular or block format. For the entry criteria into this one, I like you to have a relevant bachelor's degree but also a relevant work experience as well. And again, it's a really similar structure with the programs that I've just mentioned, with a mix of core courses and an internship, and it does include a research paper in your final trimester. So moving on from our government programs, we're now going to look at our business programs. So the first one here is our professional economics, so our postgraduate certificate in professional economics. Now this qualification here is just offered as the postgraduate certificate, so it doesn't have the traditional staircasing option, but if you are interested after you've finished studying this qualification, we do have a new master's starting next year that we can help you transition into. So if you are starting this qualification in July, it's our last intake, and it will take you 1 trimester if you're studying full-time, or 2 trimesters if you're looking at studying part-time. The program there is best suited for people with 2 years of relevant work experience and a bachelor's degree in economics, statistics and mathematics, or something with a quantitative focus. The courses that you choose from here will give you a really solid foundation in professional economics. So the courses you can choose from are macroeconomics, economic relationships in the empirical context, behavior economics, business psychoanalysis, and implications. So if you are interested in taking this qualification, have a look on the website for these courses. You'll find out more about them. If you are interested as well, you can also put an applied finance course into the mix. So it's a really good qualification if you're interested in economics with a little bit of finance. You can still make it flexible. We also have our financial markets analysis. So again, this is similar to our professional economics. It's our postgraduate certificate, and this is the final intake into this program. The purpose of this program is similar to professional economics, but with an applied finance application. So again, we do like you to have a background in economics, statistics, mathematics, finance, anything with that quantitative focus. The courses under this one here are the ones I've got listed on the screen, and you can also take a professional economics course into your program if you are interested in that mix. Now we're moving into the final category for our programs here. So this is for people with 5+ years of work experience. And the first one I'm going to talk about is our business administration. So this business administration qualification, the postgraduate certificate, is the stepping stone qualification for our executive MBA. This qualification is really good if you want we like to call it a general qualification. So it will give you a really strong foundation in business. So to help you, if you're looking at moving up into senior leadership, you get a really strong foundation in, you take an accounting course, you take a leadership course in managing and leading people, marketing, management. So it gives you all of those skills that you may need, but also you get to take elective courses again to give it the flavor and match your interests. So this postgraduate certificate, it will take you 6 months, so 2 trimesters of study. It's only available to be studied part-time, and this is to do with our strong cohort structure that is implemented throughout this program. So I'll explain a little bit in more detail about the courses that you might take if you're taking this program. How it's structured is it's taught in blocks. So what that means is every fortnight our classes are offered, and they might be on Fridays or Saturdays or a mix of both depending on what courses that you're taking. So this program works really nicely for students who are working full-time due to the part-time offering of the study, but then also when we offer the individual classes. Like I mentioned, it's best suited for professionals with 5+ years of work experience. And so what that really means is management experience or executive experience. So if you're holding a leadership role currently or you're working in that space, then this is a really good program to consider. The courses that you'll take for this program I've got listed now on the screen. So in your July trimester, you'll take economics and strategic operation management. And in your second trimester, which would be over the summer period, you would take strategic marketing, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I mentioned before the cohort learning approach. So our students in this program get to know each other really well and make very strong connections. It's also internally assessed, so you don't have exams. And there's a focus on professional development as you go throughout your program. So we embed professional development into your courses. And if you were to continue on to do your full master's, there's a consultancy course that you take. And this consultancy can be either based in New Zealand, or you can also choose to do an international study tour. And the final qualification I'm going to talk through this evening is our information management. So this is just like our professional economics and our financial markets analysis. It's being offered as the postgraduate certificate option for our July intake. And we like to call it our EMBA for IT professionals. So it's a program which will give you really strong management in the IT area. So just like the other two I've mentioned, it's a 6-month, so it can take 6 months. So, you can actually also do it full time, so you can complete it in 1 trimester if you're interested. It's taught through evening classes to fit in really nicely around your full-time work. And as I've mentioned before, it's best suited for professionals with at least 5 years of IT work experience. I've also got the courses on the screen listed available, but I will talk about the regular meetup for IT professionals, also with IT professionals. So that's part of the professional development and networking that's embedded into this program. So again, you're getting that hands-on experience early on into your qualification. You're getting to network and meet people in the career that you can progress further with. So I appreciate I spoke very quickly about those programs and gave quite a high level of knowledge. So I will, hopefully you're sending questions through to Charlotte right now, and we will send you that link to book a one-on-one session if you do want to talk more about those qualifications. But I am just going to talk about next steps and what some things that you might need to start thinking about if you're thinking about starting your study in the July period. So the first I'm going to talk about is just thinking about what best suits you. I know that I did go through it very quickly, but think now, what are your goals? What are you hoping to get out of your study? Is it best to start off with a certificate option? Do you have the time and capacity right now to study full-time and get a qualification within one trimester? Or would you like to spread it out alongside and work whilst you're also studying? Think about whether you should study, or if you prefer coursework or research. So what kind of study are you interested in? So these are some things that you can start thinking about. And again, I'm here to help you with that thought process. Another thing to think about is financing your study. So quite a few questions I get is about how are the course fees actually structured? Is it per the whole course, or is it to do with individual courses that you may have? So our fees are done per course. So if you were to take 2 courses this trimester, that's what you would be charged for. We also have a thing called a student levy. So the student levy is an additional cost that's charged annually. And the student levy is there to cover things that support students. So with the student levy, we're able to offer our domestic students free doctors, so free healthcare, counselling. It also supports student advocacy around the university. So it's there to make sure that students are supported and that they succeed. So when you apply, if you're applying for a scholarship that I'm going to talk about in a second, it will mention the student levy there. So I thought it was good just to go over it. Before I get though into the scholarship, I thought I should mention StudyLink. So StudyLink are an external a loan provider. It's a government organisation, and they help students with their student loans. This process can actually take a little bit of time. You do need to apply with them independently from applying from the university. So if you are considering starting study in trimester 2, it's a good idea to have a look at StudyLink and see what documents you need to provide them and get your application started with them. You don't actually need to apply, have applied for the university before you apply for StudyLink. So it is a good idea to get on and have a look at what you need to do. I also encourage you to have a look, if you haven't actually studied a bachelor's degree before, but you've got a wealth of work experience and you're thinking one of these programs might be for you, I encourage you to have a look at the Fees Free scheme, which is also run by the government. So have a look there and see if you're eligible for that program. But the program I'm getting the most questions about for trimester 2 study is this trimester 2 fees scholarship. So this is a scholarship that is administered by the university itself, and it's for students whose lives have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. You're eligible to apply for this scholarship if you're applying for any of the programs I've mentioned this evening, whether that's a postgraduate certificate, postgraduate diploma, or master's. The only thing it doesn't cover is if you were interested in doing a thing called a certificate of proficiency, and that's where you just take one of our courses, but you don't want to attach it to a full qualification. So if you are thinking about applying for the scholarship, it's again, postgraduate certificate, postgraduate diploma, or the master's qualifications. To apply for the scholarship, you will need to complete an expression of interest form, which is found on our website. They will then send you a link to the scholarship details, and you just need to answer some questions about yourself, a declaration, and then you need to write a 200-word statement about how your life has been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. Applications for this scholarship close on the 15th of June, so I do encourage you to jump online tonight if you haven't already had a look or haven't already applied, and start filling in what you need for the scholarship if you're eligible. Like we always say about scholarships, please just apply if you're thinking about studying, because you need to be in to win. So definitely put an application in and see what happens. Another common question I get about when you're thinking about studying is, what admission type am I? So the 2 most common that we find our students might be for our professional programs are the 2 that I've got listed on the screen right now. And the easiest way to think about it is, have you completed a level 5 qualification or higher? So if you have a bachelor's degree qualification, that's level 7. So you work in this first category here. So when you're putting in your online application, you'll need to click qualification assessment above entrance level. If you do this and your previous qualification wasn't with us, you'll need to supply documents showing your transcript and what previous study you've completed. The other criteria is the criteria I mentioned before. So for students who might not have any formal tertiary qualifications, higher than level 5, but they have that vast extensive work experience, which will make up for that. So we have a criteria called special admission. If you are applying for special admission, you do need to provide a little bit more paperwork, so please apply early just so we can start getting that processed. So how do you actually apply? So all applications are processed or completed on our website. The easiest way to find where to apply is the link I have at the very bottom of the screen there. So if you go to the main website and then say /apply, it will take you straight through to the applications. When you apply, you say who you are, what qualification you're interested in doing, and you also choose the courses that you want to take in trimester 2. You can also at the same time apply for trimester 3, or you can do that at a different stage. Whatever you decide is absolutely fine. You will also be told what supporting documents you may need to provide. Because for some of our programs that we require you to have work experience as an entry criteria, chances are you'll have to provide a CV. Some of our programs ask you for a personal statement, so to explain why you would like to come and study. So when you apply, it will list all the things that you need to do. And you don't actually need to do your documentation at the same time you do your official application. So we always try and encourage you to do your application as soon as possible, and then it will let you know what documents you have to provide afterwards. Then what happens when we have all of your documents and we have the courses you're interested in doing, it comes to our team and we look at it for approval and admission assessment. So if you're not too sure about whether you're eligible for a program, you can apply and we can assess it at this point. But if you do want to check in with us first, you're more than welcome, and you can send that through to the email address I'll list at the end. After that's all sorted and you get a letter saying you've been accepted, we have a thing called the offer of study. So that says, yeah, you're into your courses. We just want to make sure that you're happy and that you're ready to go. So you click that accept your offer, and then you're fully enrolled into the program of your choice. Now, our applications are due the 15th of June, so we do encourage you to start thinking about your enrollments and get it in as soon as possible. It's also the same day as the scholarship, so please make sure you get your scholarship application in on that date. And finally, before I open up to questions, I do want to say we are here to help you. A really good place to find information on our website is actually in our professional programs portal. So how to find that is you go to the main website, so wgtn.ac.nz/professional, and it will take you through to all of the qualifications that we have on offer. There's also a handy link to be able to apply straight from there. So it's a really good place to find out more information about what courses you might be signing up for, what your qualification might be, and any other information that you do need. You're also welcome to get in touch with our team through the email address listed there. So that's ppo@vuw.ac.nz. And so that email address will come straight through to our team and we'll be able to pass it on to the best people to help you. So we do encourage you to get in touch if you do have any more questions.